Hey YouTube, I'm Anthony. My wife is Monica, and we're the cooks. So, quick story. So, I was in the military for 10 years. When I was in the military, I worked in a fighter squadron with fighter pilots. And so, one thing that you might not know about fighter pilots is if you've ever seen the movie Top Gun, you see where Tom Cruise, he's running down the beach and he's boxing, or that might be Rocky, I don't know. But fighter pilots tend to work out. They go to the gym, they lift weights, and I thought it was just because they just was athletic and that's just what they did. Later on, I found out that pilots lift weights and they work out because they pull G's. And so the G's that they pull is the force that they exert against. Anyway, this is not a physics class. I guess it would be physics. I don't know. Anyway, pilots work out. Well, in my squadron, we had this one pilot and shredded. He was yoked, cut, just ripped to shreds. Pilots have nicknames. In Top Gun, you have Maverick, you had Iceman, you had all of these guys. Okay. So pilots have call signs, they have nicknames. Well, this particular pilot was so ripped and so shredded that they actually called him Rip. So one day I went to Rip and I said, bruh, Rip, man, how do you do it, man? What's the secret to your success? How are you so just ripped, just shredded, man? Just how are you so shredded? Do you live in the gym? Do you only eat chicken breasts and broccoli all the time? What do you do? Rip looked at me and he said, you want to know the secret? I said, yeah. He said, do 8 push-ups. Do 4 sets of 8 push-ups. He said, you get down, you do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take like a 30-second break. Breathe, get yourself together, get back down. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I asked him, I said, is it the speed? Is it repetition? Do you do slow? Do you control? What do you do? How do you get? He said, no, just do the 4 sets of 8 push-ups every day. I said, okay, if I'm gonna be like this, like him, I'm doing this. So every day I came home from work and I started doing these 8 push-ups, these 8 push-ups, these 8 push-ups, these 8 push-ups, these 4 sets of 8, 4 sets of 8, 4 sets of 8, 4 sets of 8. And I started to see some shredding up in there, some striations, and a little bit of development in the shoulders and the biceps. But I'm like, man, it's starting to look good. I'm starting to get to where I want to be. But you know what? On top of what he told me, I'm gonna start going to the gym. So I started going to the gym, and now I'm lifting. I got the bench, and I'm doing the butterflies and the posture. I'm doing everything in the gym. So I'm working out, and I'm like, man, I'm really starting to see it. I'm really starting to see. I'm starting to yoke up, but I got a little bit too much fat right here, too much fat right here. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start walking. So I started walking. Then I said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna start jogging. I'm gonna start jogging. Oh man, I'm gonna watch my diet. I'm gonna change what I eat. And so I started changing what I ate and all this other kind of stuff. So I went back to Rip, and he looked at me and he said, man, I see that you're starting to get where you want to be. I see that you're starting to get it. I said, man, thank you for that secret. You know, I've been doing, like you said, I've been doing the 8 push-ups, the 4 sets of 8 every single day. He said, bruh, it's not about the 4 push-ups, the 4 sets of 8. It's not about that. He said, forget that. It's not about that. He said, all it is it's small things consistently. This is not a workout channel. This channel is suggestions, tips, and reminders of ways to be better husbands, right? So it's the small things daily. I thought that it was the 4 sets of 8 push-ups every single day. But what it is it's the small things that you do every single day. We have one of those Keurig coffee makers, a little, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but every morning before I leave, this is just something I do. I'm not telling you what to do. These are just suggestions and tips. You don't have to do them. But every morning before I leave for work, I take a cup, I put a folded napkin on top of it, I put 3 little equals on there, I put a spoon, and I put the little Keurig cup next to it. So when my wife wakes up in the morning and she comes downstairs, and by the way, she's retired, when she comes downstairs, her cup with her 3 equal, her napkin, her spoon, and her little Keurig thing is right next to it. It's a small thing, but what does it do to the mind all day long? Small things every single day. Small things. Just get in the habit of saying, hey, what did I do for my wife today? What did I do to make her life just a little bit better? And what you'll find out is like the small things that I did with the 4 sets of push-up. You know what I'm talking about. The 4 sets of 8 push-ups. When I was doing that, I was like, man, this is good. This is easy. I like the results that I'm getting from it. The small cup of coffee every day, you'll like the results that you get from it. But then you want to see a little bit more. You want to see a little bit more. So now the next thing you know, now it's not just the small cup of coffee in the morning. Now it's a small cup of coffee and a little note that you leave by the bed. Now it's a small cup of coffee, the little note that you leave by the bed, and then on Saturday mornings you're going and you're washing our car. And then it's the little cup of coffee, the small notes that you left, you're going to wash your car on Saturday morning, and then you're filling up with gas. And then next thing you know, because the more you do it, the more it's going to grow, the more it's going to build, the more you're going to like the results that you get. The more I like the results that I got. So start off small, nothing big. Just start off. If you have a Keurig every day, set it up, try it. Again, these are just suggestions, tips, and reminders on ways to be a better husband. You can take it, you can leave it. I'm not saying I'm better than nobody else. It's just that I treat my marriage as, and I've been saying for the longest, I treat my marriage as my hobby. But to be honest with you, and I told you in the beginning of this, I'm a man of God. I treat my marriage as my ministry. Right now, hopefully I'm ministering to you. Hopefully I'm ministering to somebody. Start small. And try the 4 sets of 8 push-ups. I'm telling you, it works. I mean, it ain't got me like this, but you know, it works. See you next time.